What is up, League? I know it's been a while for a video, so I figured I would come back, give you explain a few things that have come up, go over some shit, have some fun. We're going to call this week's video Transparency 101. So we're just going to talk a little bit. Probably going to say a lot of the things I've said a million freaking times, whether it's been in person, meetings, videos, like literally pretty much everything being talked about has been said. But for those who don't pay attention, say it again, just to cover my ass and be transparent for you. So, just so we're all clear on this video. So, here we go. So, as you know, this is an everything league. Whether it's Dynasty, Snake, Auction, we do tight end premium, we do Q2QB. It's not super flex, but it's the QB flex. IDP, PPR, like literally everything you could possibly think of to do for a fantasy football league, we pretty much do. Which also brings the fact of it's a lot, right? And those who don't pay attention, it could be a lot, especially for new people. It could be a lot for a new person coming in. We always warn you when you're coming in. It's going to be a lot. Takes people a couple years to kind of get the hang of things. Couple thing, but also, as the new person, you don't want to half-ass it, because if you do, you're already going to be even more behind. Even the old OGs, ask any one of them where they've been to everything and they conquered, they won championships, they did very good, or they half-assed it, they didn't do so good. They lost out in playoffs, they lost out on guys, they lost out on player lists, they bitched and whined. It just that's the way it kind of goes. In all reality, 99.9% of people who usually complain are the ones who, I didn't know you said that. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't come to jack shit. Or I didn't come to much anyways. A lot of info is displayed in those hangouts and talking and giving me drinks. I did write notes. I wrote notes that way I don't just ramble. So for example, like OGs, there are different strategies that come to fantasy football. Do you want to be the guy that wins it all now? Do you want a guy that builds? Do you want a guy that builds a dynasty? Go into the mindset of, I might not win this year, but I'm going to build my team for next year. Those are all different strategies that you can use when it comes to, do I want to put a 2-year contract on this guy, or do I just want to win now? Do I want to trade this guy away so I can win now, or do I want to trade this guy away to maybe get picks for next year? Like, they're all different strategies you can do and motives. For example, 2 years ago, I went into it going, I want to build a team. I want to build a dynasty team to where years down the road I can obliterate, or try to, you guys look at my roster. I've heard comments, and not just my roster, but we'll go over my roster since, I'm the commission. Everyone has to look at the commission's roster. I built that shit for years. I made picks. I made trades. I literally threw my season 2 years ago to acquire a couple people, to add to your contracts while people were going over player lists and getting guys and taking money and taking points and taking those things. I was signing 2-year contracts on guys. I was trying to build a dynasty. I was taking guys at low prices that I thought that would do good in the future. Maybe not right now, but do good in the future. And I completely threw 2 years ago. Last year, I tried to go in the mindset of the same thing, where I want to build. Whether I win, whether I lose, I want to build. I want to be prepared. I don't want to win. And I didn't. And, when me and Scott went into the championship, I told him, I was like, I don't want to win. Like, this is your year. he went, I think, in the mindset last year of, I want to win now. He took Derrick Henry, he had Lamar Jackson, he had Saquon Barkley. He was fucking loaded, and he destroyed. It was awesome. And he did great. Congrats to you. So those are all strategies you can use. So when you look at someone's roster, oh my God, or even the new person, or, somewhat new people where they're like, holy shit, how did he get that? Well, that's because it's also been built for years, because this league is built for dynasty people, long-term people. Ask people who've been around for a couple of years. They've built those things. Newer people, you can build those things. You have to strategize. You have to know your stuff. It's not for the weak. If you don't know your shit, it's not for the weak. You can always ask for help too. Anyways, so yes, I am the commish. Scott is my number 2. He's my number 2. Definitely. Which also means I'm not your fucking babysitter. I'm your commissioner, I set up all this stuff. I put in a lot of fucking hard work. More work than you really actually know. I was actually talking to James, a guy we had last year who moved, who we had to replace, which, damn it, that sucked because I love James. He was awesome. He came to everything. He was awesome. He was just a great guy. He got along with everyone. It was great. His family, awesome. Anyways, he's like, hey, I want to do exactly what your league is up here. And I started explaining shit to him, and I started explaining the draft and the rules and all these things. And he's like, Jesus Christ, you have to do that? Oh, you have to input all that shit? Oh, you have to pay attention to 11 different things during the fucking draft? You don't get to just draft? I was like, no, dude, that's how it works. As the commissioner, you put in a lot of fucking hard work while basically you got to babysit. And that part does kind of suck, where sometimes I just want to sit back and relax and enjoy my fucking team and work hard just for me. It's also why reason I brought on Scott. Less work for me. So yeah, anyways. So what do we got? Yeah, so I mean, if you don't pay attention, you're going to be lost. There are, for example, all the complaints that usually happen are from people who don't know what the fuck's going on. And I would say 99.9% of the time the people don't know what the hell's going on. It's because they don't pay attention. Or they haven't watched the video because, oh, fuck, Jay's doing another 10-minute video. Or, oh, fuck, there's another stupid poll. Or there's a stupid post. Or, I didn't want to come to that hangout with beers and we all talked about some things. Or we had that a majority vote. Or, we all chilled. And we had a fire pit. We went out to Michaela's birthday and we talked about shit. I have no idea what's going on. Well, it's because you're behind the 8 ball. And that shit happens. Yes, we are, new people who come in. They notice right off the bat there are a few people who are very, very close. Yes, some people have been, known people for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. And there's comments of, I don't know how to get there. I want to get there where you guys are at. And I don't think I can do that. Well, at the same time, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, there was this new guy who came in by the name of Nick. Right off the bat, fucking super close with everybody. This dude came to fucking everything. Same with James last year. Came to fucking everything. I even think next year, Justin, we were going over to his house, we were doing game nights, Justin came to a shit ton of stuff too. But Nick, for example, Nick was extremely close with a few of us. I mean, he was my first fucking call, his first year. Sorry, so this was 2 years ago. My first fucking call was to Nick about, hey, I need you, my dad's dead, was there. And this was the first year this guy was in the league, about a year and a half. So yes, you don't have to be that 20-year guy friendship. You don't have to be that 15-year guy friendship. Or, Scott, what is it, 5 years, something like that. You don't have to be that guy either. You just got to come to shit. You got to hang out. You got to bro out. You got to not start shit. You can be just as close with us. Man, this is a long video. But I'm going to keep rambling. It is what it is. Anyways, so yes, you literally need to set your priorities. Obviously, for me, for example, my priorities are my family. My family is number one, period. No matter what, my family is number one. And then, after that, hobbies and friends and, fantasy football. The great thing about that is I've pretty much put all that shit into one thing. When I want to hang out with my friends, that's you guys. When I want to talk fantasy football, that's you guys. My hobbies, besides poker, half the league plays poker. If I want to just go play football, we did that for one of the events, or play basketball, or, working out. When me and Scott, I know he's going to give me shit because I haven't been in a while. When we work out and shit, we talk fantasy football. We also talk about family shit. We talk about drama, whatever the fuck it is that we're talking about. We're there. We're talking about it. And it's awesome. It's fun. So yeah, you don't got to be a 20-year fucking friend to be close with us, man. You just gotta show up to shit and you gotta hang out. You show up and you're behind the 8 ball and you're like, well, what the fuck? Well, yeah, what the fuck? I don't like explaining myself a million fucking times because you don't want to pay attention, or you forget, or maybe it's not even a priority. Now, everyone has different priorities, man. My priorities, when I go out, I want to be out with my friends. I want to be out talking about football. And it's not about strategizing with you guys. It's literally just bullshitting about football, talking about fantasy football. I love giving tips about football because all I do all fucking day is listen to podcasts and YouTube about football, fantasy fucking football. That's literally all I do. Like, I would say it's got to be at least like 70, 80 videos a day of just fantasy football shit, podcasts. I listen to other shit, but that's it. I love talking about fantasy football. Love strategizing. Has nothing to do with trying to get one up on you. It's just, I just love talking football. I love debating Luke. I love debating Luke about his ideas with my ideas and my opinions with his opinions. It has nothing to do with the strategy because I also know with Luke, he already knows who he wants. I'm not going to convince him otherwise. I already know who I want. Nothing you tell me and no fucking secrets of who you want is going to change my fucking mind of who I want. I already know who I want. I know exactly who I want. When it comes to lists and stuff like that, just based on the fact of in the beginning of the year, I prioritize. These are guys that I want. These are guys that I don't want. This is my plan B. This is my plan C. I already have those laid out. So yeah, when I go in to look at a list, or I go into the auction draft or snake draft, I go, no. Oh, there's a name I recognize. No. Oh, there's a name I recognize. Okay, cool. I got it between 2 or 3 people. Okay, cool. And then I can strategize from there. So yeah, priorities. You just got to make shit priorities, man. You want to bro out with us? Make it a priority. Bullshit talk with us. Talk about fantasy football with us. Talk about personal shit with us. It was awesome being able to hang out at Michaela's birthday party last week, where it was really cool. I think the girls actually got along better than the guys. When we met Ryan's wife, the girls met Ryan's wife, and they had a great time. It was awesome. So yeah, let's see. Second, know your IDP. When you show up on some of these lists and you sit there and you whip out your phones and go, I need to go through my player rankings. Well, that's going to hurt you. That literally will. That's going to hurt you because you're just looking at someone else's fucking opinions. Know who you want. Know your plan Bs. Know your plan Cs. Or ask. Let's talk about it. I think me and Ben are huge rivalries. We're in the same fucking division, and me and him still talk about, I would grab him. And he knows and trusts that I'm not trying to screw him. I would definitely grab him, and I would give him an honest opinion on that, because again, I want him to be good, because when I beat him, I know I'm not beating a shitty ass team. I beat it because I beat him because I earned it. And he knows when he beats me, he's not beating a shitty ass team. He's beating me because he fucking earned it. That's what's fun about that. Also, know your IDP, because guess what? You go in, you're like, oh man, I can get all this offense and load up. Well, that's cool. That's 11 starters of offense, but you forgot about the other 11 starters of defense. You could have a bomb-ass offense, but guess what? If you got Josh Allen and Jamar Chase, yeah, that's awesome. That's a great offense, but at the same time, if your rest of your whole team sucks ass because you don't know IDP, you're not going to win. You got to know your IDP. And that's why I did the players list of only IDP, because I want you to recognize names. I want you to see these lists. I want you to see these guys. I want you to know and study and look at these things, not just show up day of and be like, I don't know. Let me pull out my phone, and whoever Joe Schmo tells me to get, that's who I'll fucking get. No, have some fun with it. Be interested in it. So the last minute hangs, like the last minute, like I'm going for a beer. There may or may not be a thing. It's never fucking big. It's never a big prize. It's like, hey, you could earn some bank vault, or 2-year, at least so far it hasn't been. But like, 2-year contract, or usually it's something beneficial that's already on your team, or an extra pass or something like that. We don't do like player lists. Well, at least we haven't yet. But you're not losing something detrimental if you don't come to the minor stuff. Obviously I usually say there may or may not be a player list. That's when you should know. We most likely will have a player list. We might not, but we most likely will. That way you just know. So don't think you're losing out, but yeah, you're losing out to bro time. The best time I had in fucking weeks was when me, Ben, and Luke the other day went to fucking breakfast, man. Everybody was invited, but y'all bounced. And just kind of broed out with them. It was awesome. So it was fun. So anyways, they're just basic rewards for the, the minor shit. Those who show, they profit. Those who don't show, you can't complain then. You can't turn around and be like, I have no idea what you're fucking talking about. Well, cool. I don't really want to explain it because I've explained it 11 billion fucking times. And it's annoying. And then you get frustrated because I'm like, how do you not know this? Because I've explained it a million times. We've set these dates months and months in advance, and you still don't know if you can make it. Like, we set this shit months in advance. Like, it should not be hard. Hey, babe, this is what's in the calendar. These are the shit that I'm doing. Plan around it. That's, if you want to prioritize, you want to bro out, that's how you do it, right then and there. That's the easiest thing to do. Yep. Family shit comes up, or personal shit comes up, whatever. People get busy, work, whatever it might be. That's fine. No big deal. I'm not going to give you shit for it. But if you come to me like, man, I want to bro out with you guys, and I want to be like you guys, and why are you guys so close, and I can't seem like I can fit in. Well, it's because you don't come to anything. Bro out with us then. Hit me up. Call me up for a beer. You got my phone number. Let's just go, me and you. Let's go grab some whiskey. Let's go grab cigars. Let's, go find a poker game, or, whatever. Let's go to some games or whatever. Whatever it might be. Let's do a separate double date instead of just me and Scott and Bree and Courtney, or the triple dates that we've done. We've done a couple triple dates, and, let's bro out on different couples and different things. Maybe we could do a double date between me and Courtney, and, Luke and Bob can be the couple or something like that. Like just something completely random. Let's do some fun stuff. You're not going to know stuff if you don't come out, basically. So that's just me basically just being transparent with everybody. Couple more things to be transparent for you. Brad's event is the last event for points, as far as like the friends choosing things to do. Brad's the last one to go. Then we do Denver. That's the big one. I cannot say if we're going to do any like minor shit where you can, have a point here, have a point there, or whatever. But we'll know the full structure and everything after Denver. So after Denver, that's when it's decided. So there won't be anything more after that for draft order. So we'll know the draft order, Denver, that night. Saturday night. It's going to be fun. We're doing plan the day because it's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's going to be people there's going to be a car that goes up that plans on spending the night because we're going to stay out late, and there's going to be a car that plans on coming home. So that'll be your choice to figure out what carpool you want to be in. Holy fuck, I've been going for 20 minutes. Well, I've kind of had to explain a lot of shit. So anyways, but yeah, my event, I'm actually going to do what's going to decide the Lamar draft order. So my event will decide the Lamar draft order, and I'm going to have a couple little prizes, a couple little things, stuff like that. So if you can't come to Lamar, then you're taking 10th pick in the Lamar, and so forward and all that, whatever. So trades. Yeah, man, like, fuck. Trade away. Like, I got guys who can't make the Lamar draft. Trade for the picks. Get his picks. You guys all remember all these extra points, these coming to things, the Lamar draft, players on sheets, things like that. That's all free shit that your awesome commish gives you. Like, free shit. We could be the basic bitch league where we show up, we do a snake draft, we go the fuck home. That's it. That's all you fucking do. That is boring as fuck. So trade. Actually a bunch of people have made trades. You could trade for points, you could trade for Lamar picks, you could trade for whatever the fuck you want. That's just what you do. So no, hey, I know Ben, for example, I'll shout out to him. Ben, for example, can't make the Lamar draft. He has both of his picks. So for the Lamar draft, you got 2 picks. You're going to choose from the list. You got 2 picks. If you want to trade for those, go grab them. Luke. Shout out to Luke. I know he's looking for draft picks because he doesn't have any. The fucker sold them all last year. So I know he's probably wanting to trade for some picks. Things like that. You could trade, or points. I always say for trades, like, make it something that's positive for your team, or what you believe is positive for your team. Or positive for the future, positive for the event. Don't just go up to somebody and be like, I'll give you, like what, a couple of years ago, give you $1,000 if you just drop your fucking team. No, don't be that guy, because that ruins shit, and then the commissioner's got to get involved, and we're not going to do any of that. But there's nothing wrong with, hey, I'll buy your breakfast, I'll buy your lunch, I'll buy your dinner. Hey, we're literally going up to Denver. You want to get spicy with some stuff. I know some people may or may not be able to afford a hotel room, but hey, I'll pay for your fucking hotel room for your first round pick, or for all your points, or whatever that might be for your 2 Lamar picks, or gas money, or, have some fun with it. Don't just walk up to somebody and be like, hey, $500 for, your Lamar pick. Go fuck yourself. No, don't do that. Like, don't be that guy. Be the guy that makes things fun. Make it positive in what you believe for that will benefit your team, their team, or benefit in some way that has to do with the hanging out process, or fantasy process, or, building your team process. Don't just do it because you got fucking money and one person doesn't, or whatever like that. So yes, usually in the past, I just got busy, wasn't even thinking about posting for the points. So, being transparent, there was that trade a couple weeks ago. We did make a trade a couple days ago. There was a couple of us who went out to breakfast. I did trade Luke. I bought his breakfast, or his tab, for half of his draft order points. I don't know 100% exactly what it is, because I know my next text message will be how many. I can't remember. I believe Luke, let's see. 3. So yeah, he had, 6,200 or something like that, I believe, or something like that. It was minus 3,000 or whatever it was. Or minus 2,500, whatever it was. Yeah. So yeah, I traded the breakfast for the points, whatever it was. Didn't get post, again, we usually don't post points, not being transparent, but I'm letting you know now. So I got nothing to hide. That was a topic. So I got literally nothing to hide. If you want to see, now I always tell you this, if you want to see the Lamar list, fucking ask. Like, I have it on this laptop. If you want to see the auction list, fucking ask. Now I always say it's not 100%, because, again, for example, like Aaron Rodgers and Nick Chubb just made the fucking team a couple days ago. They're most likely going to be on the Lamar draft list now. So yeah, it's always being updated, always moving. The final list comes out a week prior to the date. So a week prior to the Lamar date, everyone gets the list. The week prior to the auction date, everyone gets the list. But I mean, if you want to see it now, like I always say, it's not 100% because it's always being updated. It's always moving, stuff like that. Just ask and I'll show it to you. I mean, tons of people have asked to see it. Here, look, I got nothing to fucking hide. If you want to, that might help you out for, Lamar picks or, things like that. Aaron Rodgers and Nick Chubb, they're going to be on the Lamar list now. And Aaron Rodgers, that might be a hot little ticket for you. That might be nice. So just ask when we're at events or whatever. If I got my laptop, fucking look, I don't care. If you got a question, go ahead and ask. I know, what was it, a little while back, someone said, hey, don't put, drama or bullshit on, Discord or whatever, just text the person directly. So if there's any issues or accusations or anything like that, just text the person directly or call, or we'll go for a beer, whatever, not saying there is, it just, in case, there's any worry about those kind of things, or you don't feel like I'm being transparent enough for you, then you can just call the person and ask about it like that person would want. So yeah, that's the easiest thing. So anyways, so like a lot to discuss, a lot that went over. This video was more of an information video. I wanted to honestly just waste your time for 26 fucking minutes. That's really what it came down to, and make you listen to me. And since I have to always continuously have to listen to you fucks, I wanted you guys to listen to me for a good fucking half an hour. It's great. So that way, when you're driving to work, you can plug it in and just go for it. So that's what this little meeting was about, is to just kind of talk about, fantasy 101 and talk about the league 101 to keep you updated, because we haven't talked about this stuff in a few months. Some of the rules, some of the things, we're getting close to Lamar's and Denver's and auctions, and people are asking for guys, and people are looking for trades and stuff like that. Set your priorities. We're getting close for fantasy football, and you're gonna want to not be behind the 8 ball. Let's bro out. Let's have some fun. And we're gonna have a good summer. We're gonna do a lot of things. I have a lot of plans, and again, I really don't make any decisions or go over and do anything or even players list without Scott. Scott's kind of my backbone, to where like I send him something and go, what do you think? And he goes, I would add these 10 people. I would add these 20 people. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Or, hey, what do you think of this rule? I would do this. I would do that. That's the purpose of having him, is someone that I can lean on and go back to and be like, hey, fuckface is being dumb. What do you think? Yeah, he is being dumb. Or no, Jay, you're just being an idiot, like I usually am. So, it's real easy having him around because it's less shit I gotta do. But again, I'm not a babysitter. If you come to shit, you'll probably know what the answer is. And if you don't know the answer, pick up a phone and fucking call me. I got more. I have no problem talking about it. So if there's any other questions, or the new guys coming up with a lot of new things, other than that, we're gonna see everybody at Brad's little draft. I believe it's not this coming weekend. It's next weekend, I believe, if I remember right. Pretty sure. But anyways, thank you for listening to me for a half an hour. It's fucking awesome. I literally wanted to go for 30 minutes just to piss you guys off, because I always have to fucking listen to you guys complain. We don't have a hangout without someone bitching and whining, and it's fucking great. But I love all of you. So let's have some fun, and let me know if you got anything. All right, peace. Oh, those who know. I haven't reached quite half an hour yet. Wanted to throw in a little surprise for you. Something that you personally can benefit on. So how this is going to work. Since you're still watching, I'll explain, because I got 1 minute before 30 minutes. So, you get on Discord and you post, Jay, thank you for being so transparent. And you have to put, I messaged everybody individually on what you have for draft points, okay? Jay, thank you for being so transparent, and put your draft points of what you have. That way I know you watched this, because everybody just starts copying everybody because they think something's going on. They don't know what the fuck's going on if you actually put your draft points. Because if you don't put your actual draft points, then I know you're cheating. So anyways, yes, Jay, thank you for being so transparent and put your draft points, what they actually are. And you'll get a cool little surprise. What the surprise will be is you will be able to take off one of the passes you've already used. You can take off. So the ones that are red, you could take it off and use it again. All right? Awesome. Peace now. 30 minutes and 5 seconds. Damn it.